one of the things I wanted to ask you about that I thought was fascinating over the years in your journey is you began with the astrology videos, and that was what I remember first seeing you for. And then there was this very interesting moment when all of a sudden, I remember seeing on YouTube, Pleiadian message from Bracha Goldsmith. And you may have even been Barbara back then, I'm not sure. And we'll talk about your name change in a minute, but that was fantastic. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So tell us about that. When did the channeling kind of come in as a new thing for you?
It's exactly 5 years ago now, actually. I can't believe it. It's like, wow. And I was at a very, very low point in my life. A very significant relationship had ended. Wow, I couldn't have guessed that was coming. I couldn't have seen it. So I was totally blindsided. And just a lot of things were happening where I was pretty desperate. And sometimes it's not until you get to that dark night of the soul, which is where I was at the time, that you cry out for something else. There has to be something more. There has to be something else. And it was feeling alone, isolated, nowhere to turn. I mean, everything fell apart, except for the only thing, thank goodness, that I was able to continue were the videos and the astrology. I pushed myself to continue to honor that commitment that I felt I had with the people who were so kindly continuing to watch and follow the videos. So that I kept going, but everything else fell apart.
Right.
And somehow I came across Summer Bacon. I know I've mentioned her a few times. I don't know if you were even thinking of interviewing her, but she's amazing, a wonderful,
I'm not
clear, pure channel.
Okay, I'll have to check her out.
Yeah, she's been channeling Dr. Peebles for many, many years. She's just taken a little break at the moment to just deal with the exhaustion of it for doing it for such a long time.
Yeah.
And, I had a reading that I had to wait 4 months for. I couldn't believe it. It was like 4 months for this reading. But it was worth it because everything this channel Dr. Peebles came through with was like, wow, this sort of hit me. And at the end, I just said, do you think I could try channeling? And he said, well, why not? It wasn't anything serious. And so I just had one coaching session with Summer Bacon, one trance coaching session. And she said, don't expect anything. Nothing's going to happen. Just, it was like, and I thought, okay, I have nothing to lose. I never knew about channeling until that point, particularly.
Yeah.
And I sat down in the morning. I said 10 o'clock I was going to be there. And I called in these spirits of love, light, inspiration, truth, just these energies. And all of a sudden I could feel something taking over my breath. It was like something happened. And I thought, okay, she said that might happen. She said at the back of my mind, okay. So I surrendered. I said, go on, take it. Do what you need to do. I felt mentally. And somehow something moving my neck. It was just suddenly everything began to move that was not in my control.
Yeah.
And I think you're much more familiar with that than I would have been at the time. Yeah, I think you came into this journey a lot earlier. And within a matter of a couple of days, because my throat, they were trying to come through the throat, they couldn't get through. What I was trying to couldn't. So it was very uncomfortable for 2 to 3 days. It was like, and I knew something important was happening. And I thought, you'll just have to sit with it. You'll have to stick with it and sit with it. Because Summer was unavailable, because I immediately shouted out, Summer, help!
Yeah, of course.
It was great. She said, this is your journey. Just stay with it. I am not to interfere in your journey. And I thought, how honorable she was. She would have stopped, that would have stopped the process. I'm sure it would have, because I had to keep digging deeper and allow. And then this sound came through like, we are the Pleiadians. It was like, hello, Barbara, because that was my name at the time. And I was like, they know my name. And then that was the start of it.
Fantastic.
Sorry, that was a bit long-winded, but
no, it was great. It was great. There's so many things that you said that I resonate with.
Really.
And yeah, from experience too. And it's interesting because you also, was that the same time that you started doing the channel paintings?
Yes.
Did it all happen at the same
Everything
time? Yeah.
opened. Yeah, the paintings came very soon, within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa.
Everything also, that was when the paintings started appearing in your videos behind you, as we see right now.
Yeah, that's the Pleiadians that I've never painted in my life.
Yeah. So that's brilliant. I love it. But you see, a couple things that you just said that are so true to me. One of the things that I often share with the people who will come to live events when I'm about to channel, because I usually channel at my events at some point, and I'll say, you know, channeling energy for me is something that initiates you. So it might be that the information of the channeled being or entity or entities is exactly what you needed. And you'll take that information and it will do something for your life. And you'll be like, oh, great. I said, but more often than not, and if you're in this room to listen to the channeling, or if you're listening to channeling online, you're exposing yourself to something that you will remember if you want to. You know, it's osmosis. So we all learn through feeling and being around someone who's demonstrating something. And we all have the capacity to channel, whether it's channeling our higher self, whether it's channeling guides, whether it's channeling our soul, whether it's channeling the Pleiadians or beings from other places. We're all different. So some of us will go more to the stars, some of us will be channeling angels, but channeling itself is really just a new range of listening and a new range of sensing. And like you said, letting go of the control of our human mind and human personality for a moment and letting something else come through us. So I love that happened for you, and I'm not too surprised that happened for you. I actually was taken to a channeler not long before I started channeling, and I was very skeptical. I was like, don't know why he needed to put that funny voice on and close his eyes. Good information, but why did he need to like pretend it was channeling? And then lo and behold, egg on my face about a year later. So, because now I get it, and I'm like, yeah. So that's great. So the channeled paintings, you're very prolific with those from what it looks like to me, given how. Yeah. So walk us through what happens when you channel paint, because that's another thing I always say to people, just pick up a paintbrush and you'll be surprised. People say, oh, I've never done it. I'm 65. And I'm like, well, now's the time. Just start, you know?
That's it. And that's what I say to clients, you know, just have a go. I mean, that's all that happens. I mean, I have various canvases and I'll ask them, which size do you want? So we start off with, you know, which one do you want? And they'll point, fine. And then I'll say, which paints do you want? Colors do you want? Sometimes I'll have an agenda. I'll say, look, I need a painting for the new moon in Libra.
Right.
All right, guys. So what are you going to do? And then they'll pick out the paints. They're very distinct. It's very deliberate. And then I'll say, do you want paint brushes? Do you want sponges? Do you want fingers? What do you want today? And then they're very distinct. They say brushes, fine. And off you go. And sometimes they want me to pour it directly on to the canvas. Sometimes it's on a little palette. And you're just having an interaction, if you like, with spirit, asking them. And you just listen, and somehow you know when it's finished, because they'll pull your hand off. It's like, all right, finished now, stop. And I'll say, any other colors? And sometimes they'll be yes. And sometimes, no, that's it. And I say, you sure? And because I look at the painting and go, really, that's it? Yep, that's it. And then somebody will buy it. It'll be like, somebody really liked that painting. Yes. So it's like, you know, so it's
that's great.
Yeah.